I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm just now making peace with the truth that I'm pretty skeptical of just about everything I see, read, and hear. In 2025, that also makes me a bit crazy because something is happening every single day that makes me question the narrative. What's real and what's an agenda? What does the mainstream want me to see? How is my response going to feed whatever is coming next? Can I spy propaganda in real time, or will I fall victim to 2020 hindsight? I am no longer a lone wolf in my thinking. I recently read that conspiracy theories are now becoming more mainstream. That makes me nervous because if everyone is spying on the spies, it makes us all turn on each other. Is that conspiracy really a spy? I could talk to you all day about the conspiracies in our culture that deserve a second look. The headlines just from this past Friday are jam-packed. How about the Amazon conspiracy of making Prime cancellations difficult? Or how about the former French president who was just sentenced to 5 years in prison due to criminal conspiracy? Or how about the UK conspiracy announcing digital IDs will be mandatory to work? Or how about all generals being called to meet in Quantico by the Secretary of War? What is being conspired here for the general public even to know about such a quote-unquote major meeting? All pun intended. Our world is quite scripted. If we pause to look deeper, perhaps we can see through the narrative that is being sold. However, part of the point of getting caught up in looking at the mainstream is to take our eyes off what truly matters. Our homes, our children, our relationships, our God. Distractions keeps us from focusing on raising the next generation, who will have to navigate this rapidly changing world. We must utilize our spy-like abilities more effectively on the values that matter most. Not necessarily ignoring what's happening around us, but having a clear perspective and balance that allows us to recognize that we can't change the world's narrative, but we can change the narrative of our hearts and our homes. How do we choose light and pass that light to our kids? That's the paradoxical beauty of fighting for the truth in a world that is full of corruption. We want to see the truth and find comfort that our views and perspectives are right. When we can see clearly through the scripts of our news, we can live a life of freedom rather than a life of fear. Though it's easier these days to spy the low-hanging fruit of conspiracies like price gouging, phone scammers, junk email, and phishing, it's becoming quite challenging, however, to spy out the truth in the news when everyone is pointing fingers. To be able to discern what's true, false, or what's for our own good, we have to say no to the rat race. It's the wrong pursuit that all systems wants us to participate in. Our hustle culture is the biggest distraction to critical thinking, to being truly authentic, to connecting eye to eye, and to slowing our brains and training our brains to see the bigger picture and the bigger purposes of life. However, we can do this. So let's play I Spy. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Work Life Eubiosis podcast with your host, Charleston Edwards. If this is your first time here, welcome. My goal is simple: to eradicate burnout and to bring harmony, purpose, and balance to this world, starting with the family. My hope is that this show and the story shared will provide encouragement and ideas that will be valuable to you on your journey to work-life freedom. So let's dive in to today's episode. I spy with my little eye something red. Do you? I Spy is a staple game that my kids and I frequently play in the car. Spy means I see. We can play for ages, and it captures the attention of the oldest all the way to the youngest. Though the object being searched for is outside the vehicle, the attention that matters the most is actually the memories being built inside the vehicle. I am guilty as charged of consistently being distracted. I love listening to podcasts while I do chores or anything else, and sadly, even when I'm in the car with my children. However, my kids, at least at this current age, would like me to be their quote-unquote podcast. I'm figuratively speaking here, but when I stop and reflect on the number of times that I hear mom or dad come out of their mouth, it's either for education, participation, connection, or gratification. At the end of the day, there is sincere delight when they have me or my wife fully engaged. Distraction grips all of us. We live in a hyper-disengaged society. The devices of our age, the one that I'm currently in front of, have morphed from an apparatus to an appendage. The phone has become the sixth finger on our hand. It's always there, always alerting, always capturing, and always screaming for our attention. We are overloaded with more content than any other era in our world history. Even more, our ability to express and engage has moved from eye to eye to post. Social media has made us less social. Let me say that again. Social media has made us less social. It has also deepened our divide as humanity. Finding common ground, unity, or loving our neighbor is harder because our social channels are set up for us to pound our chest instead of helping those in need. Social media is not going away, but we all have individual choices on our personal engagement. Not just for social media, but how we engage with screens, distractions, or anything else that takes away our little eyes from the little eyes that want our attention. Little eyes matter more than ever with the global news getting bigger. We must all take a step back and see through the propaganda games that we are allowing into our homes and into our hearts. Let's take our eyes back. Let's take our hearts back and point them upwards and on the things and the people who really matter the most. As a parent, I realized the magnitude of being their number one teacher, my kids' number one role model, and their provider and protector. I know this because of my own parents. Their habits and rhythms of engagement with me and my brother have impacted my values as an adult. Family and God were my parents' top priority in their lives. They worked hard from this value system, not out of duty for the applause of mankind, but of God. Their ambitions were not about the latter, but it was about the legacy of the heart. And I'm grateful because not all homes have this type of foundation. It's why Own Your 5 to 9 exists and why this podcast exists. It's to help homes escape the burnout of the American dream treadmill and to refocus on the values that matter most. I'm not saying anything new or sharing anything profound. I'm simply here to encourage anyone who will listen that we can always do better. And that time is now. As I stated before, I battle with distraction myself. I also battle with doom scrolling. I fall short. However, in light of, quote, Operation Warp Speed, unquote, of the 2025 news cycle, I am self-assessing constantly on what matters most. This is my daily challenge. I challenge us all to take a step back. Do a 30,000-foot flyover and play I Spy. I spy with my little eye a world that wants to divide my home. I spy with my little eye other little eyes that want me home. It's our choice. Let's play and reclaim the mind, the heart, and the eyes of our kids again. This episode is brought to you by Own Your 5 to 9, an organization committed to freeing families of the rat race and burnout. Every organization has a leader, mission, and a set of values that drives the organization. But this is commonly missed in the most important organization in the world, the family. An organization has one mission for how it will impact the world. Why not the family? An organization goes into strategic planning routinely to align its values, mission, and projects. Why not the family? Whose Home, a strategic planning guide for families, is a workbook and a tool needed in all households. Whose Home takes a strategic planning approach with 10 guided exercises to define your core family values, family mission, and tools to operationalize how your family does life together. If your family is facing a big decision, Whose Home is for you. If you're considering a career pivot, Whose Home is also for you. If you desire more intentionality and harmony in your home, Whose Home is for you. Create a healthy culture, not a hustle culture, at home. Visit ownyour5to9.com to claim your copy today. I have a few concluding thoughts that starts with one question. How can we spy better with our time, especially with healthy boundaries with our devices, media, and social media? You're not going to hear anything new here, but take these tips as reminders for the tool belts that you navigate with each day. Number 1, take a device break. Choose a day, a week, or even a month to walk away from social media or other apps that can steal attention. Maybe it's just a Sunday where social goes on pause. Like any vice that may grip us, choose something to replace that space. The brain will be looking for gratification. Number 2, time block the device. Choose a time in the day where you scroll, post, or engage for a specific block of time. Put a boundary on it. Number 3, box the device. There's a brand named Arrow, they're relatively brand new, that created a box for families to put away their phones when they walk in the door. The box is also a charger, and it has an app that gamifies the time spent, not picking up the phone. Number 4, go old school with your device. Dumb down the phone. It's almost impossible to get by in the society without a phone, but it doesn't mean we have to be cutting edge. There are limited feature devices out there. For preteens, this is also a great solution to introduce them to devices without indoctrinating them or programming them. And number 5, socially hit and run. If social media is vital for your work, take a hit and run approach. Create your content in advance, schedule it, and post it. But do not wait around for the likes and comments. In fact, turn off the alerts and the social media pop-ups on any social channel that keeps distracting. My bonus tip is to say, I spy with my little eye out loud the next time you want to reset the entire family. It works when everyone is distracted or dysregulated. It's fun, engaging, simple, and absolutely free. When the world wants our eyes on whatever they are selling, say no and put the eyes on the little eyes that matter. And if you were lucky enough to stick with me to the end of this podcast, did you spot something red? If you did, you win. You're listening via podcast. You will have to sign up for the newsletter to see what everyone else saw or perhaps missed. Until the next time, have a good week. Thank you for listening to the Work-Life Eubiosis podcast, part of the work-life resources created by Own Your 5 to 9. I hope that you have found encouragement and a few ideas to strengthen your journey to purpose, freedom, and balance. Have you overcome burnout and found a new way of life? Millions around the globe are still at the risk of burnout and losing it all. And your story may be the one that sparks not only a dream, but action. Visit ownyour5to9.com for more information and submit your story. While you're there, join the Work-Life Eubiosis newsletter and receive additional resources weekly right to your inbox. If you enjoy this podcast, take time to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Share it with a friend or loved one. Remember, the most important organization in the world is the family. Let's do our part to strengthen it. Thank you for listening.